Okay, so we're going to start solving trigonometric equations. And the first one we're going to solve is sine x equals 1/2. Now if we look in the trig table on the sine row, we see that 1/2 occurs twice. Now because this is not inverse sine, see, it's not inverse sine, it's just sine. Since it's not inverse sine, we can use any of the values. So we see that sine of pi over 6 equals 1/2. And we see that sine of 5 pi over 6 equals 1/2. Now, if I go to my calculator, so let's go to a calculator. Let's go to graph. Now, my calculator is set in radians, so remember to graph trig functions on your calculator, you need to be in radians. So I'm going to graph sine x on y1, and I'm going to graph 1/2 on y2. I'm going to set my window to go from -2 pi to 6 pi. And my y min and max, I'm going to go to like -1.5 to 1.5. So I just want to be a little bit above and below the maximums. So there we go. And we see that that there's a solution here, 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 and here. That's 8 solutions. If we come over and use our trace, I can type in pi over 6. And I get that y equals 1/2. I can type in 5 pi over 6. And I get y equals 1/2. Now what's this one over here? Let's see. So there's one cycle. So this must be 2 pi. And this is a little bit more than 2 pi. In fact, it's 2 pi plus pi over 6. So let's put that into our trace. Whoops. So 2 pi plus pi over 6. And we get exactly 1/2. Y equals 1/2. Well, I wonder what this next one is. Well, it's probably 2 pi plus 5 pi over 6. So let's see if our guess is correct. So 2 pi plus 5 pi over 6. And we get 1/2 again. So we got 2 more right here. I wonder where those are. Well, let's see. So here's 2 pi, 3 pi, there's 4 pi. It's a little past 4 pi. In fact, it's pi over 6 past 4 pi. So 4 pi plus pi over 6. And again, we're at another intersection. So there's a solution, and then the last one is at 4 pi, and this really isn't the last solution. It's the last solution that we see on our screen. And we get another one. What about these back here? We haven't been to those. Let's see. Well, let's see. So this is 0. There's 2 pi. So 0, this is minus pi, and this is minus 2 pi. Let's see. I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to say that since the period, I'll see if that gets me another solution. Because see what I was doing over here, I was adding 2 pi and getting to there, and adding 2 pi to get to there. So if I want to go back the other way, I subtract 2 pi. And now if I take 5 pi over 6, and subtract 2 pi, I get another solution. So the pi over 6 solution happens every 2 pi. And it keeps happening off this screen. It happens there, it happens there, and it just keeps going. In the same way this direction. Okay. And then so we notice that here this is x. So when x is pi over 6, we get 1/2. But we also, because of sign being periodic, we also hit that same 1/2 every 2 pi. And so to say, remember when we did the vertical asymptotes, we added, we found the vertical asymptotes, and then we said that happened every period. So that's what that means. This happens every, n is an integer. I think in your homework you're supposed to use k, but so that would be one solution. And the other one is 5 pi over 6 plus 2 pi n. And this is called the general formula. So my new page, my general solution to sine x equals 1/2 is pi over 6 plus 2 pi n and 5 pi over 6 plus 2 pi n. And n is an integer. Okay? So if I let n equal 0, then what I get is pi over 6 plus 2 pi times 0, which is pi over 6. And I get 5 pi over 6 plus 2 pi 0 equals 5 pi over 6. I can let n equals 1. That would give me pi over 6 plus 2 pi times 1. And that gives me 13 pi over 6. And I have 5 pi over 6 plus 2 pi times 1. And I get 17 pi over 6. And I can keep going. I can let n equals 2. I can let n equals 3. I can let n equals minus 1. And so depending on what n I choose, I can, if I go through the integers, 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and so on, I'll generate all of the solutions to sine x equals 1/2. Okay, so this is the general solution. Let's find all the solutions so what you can be asked to find the general solution, and then sometimes the directions are find all the solutions in a given interval. So find all the solutions in the interval minus 2 pi to 2 pi. Okay, so we start with n equals 0, and we take our general solution from the other page, and we get pi over 6 plus 2 pi times 0 gives us pi over 6. 5 pi over 6 plus 2 pi times 0 equals 5 pi over 6. We let n equals 1, pi over 6 plus 2 pi, but because this is 2 pi, a little bit more is going to put me past the n. So this is greater than 2 pi. So it's outside the interval. So we don't include that one. Now, it's minus, so I need to get the other one. So I'm going to use pi equals, n equals minus 1, and I get pi over 6 plus 2 pi times minus 1. And so I end up subtracting 2 pi from pi over 6. And that gives me minus 11 pi over 6. And then I repeat for, I guess let me come down here, 5 pi over 6 plus 2 pi times minus 1, and I get minus 7 pi over 6. So finally, interpreting this, the solution, your solutions to the equation sine x equals 1/2 on the interval minus 2 pi to 2 pi is minus 11 pi over 6, minus 7 pi over 6, pi over 6, and 5 pi over 6. So the solution set can change with the interval. So different intervals, different solutions.